Sandra asked Ekene about his friend's situation while eating her meal. They both had ordered rice and beef. He had observed her during their walk to the hospital restaurant. She stood a bit shorter than him, with a confident demeanor that hid her age. There was an air of seriousness around her that made her seem like a professional. As they ate, he discreetly watched her. She wore light makeup, had white, egg-shaped eyes, and well-carved lips. He explained that his friend returned home covered in blood that morning and had been unconscious since. She wondered if his friend had been involved in something dangerous. Being new in town, he didn't have much information about his friend's activities. She asked why he had come to town, wondering if it was for a job or business. It was a rare opportunity for him to talk to someone in a while, especially someone who seemed genuinely interested in his story. He shared that he had been searching for a job in Lagos for 2 years without success. His friend convinced him to join him in the new town. She was surprised by the 2-year struggle and asked about his field of study. She revealed that she had dropped out of school in her 2nd year due to her belief that education wouldn't help her achieve her dreams. She explained that she had always aspired to run an organization helping vulnerable people, which was influenced by some difficult experiences from her childhood. She was inspired by a wealthy philanthropist, Chief Uzor, who supported her financially. He admired her for making sacrifices to pursue her passion. He also believed she was fortunate to have crossed paths with the compassionate man who supported her aspirations. They fell into silence as they ate. She suddenly questioned whether he felt safe going home despite the uncertainties. He replied that he wasn't afraid of danger. He expressed interest in meeting the little girl he had seen with her earlier. She warned him that the girl had recently lost her mother. They left the restaurant and he followed her to her room, where he noticed 2 police officers. As they entered the room, Angela, the little girl, seemed to react to his presence. He greeted her and sat beside her. She looked at him with more expression than before, to Sandra's amazement. He left the room with Sandra, and she remarked on the connection between him and Angela, which he obviously didn't notice. She asked him to visit again to observe their interaction. She wanted to see how he would affect Angela, as she was willing to try anything that might help the girl recover. He agreed and thanked her for the meal before leaving. He anticipated seeing her again and hoped his friend would be better by morning so he could learn more about what was happening. Clifford knocked on Nana's door, and as she tried to open it, he impatiently pushed his way inside. Nana struggled to regain her balance, shocked to find Clifford in her home. Questions on what she was doing in her house raced through her mind. Their paths had crossed a year ago, during a low point in Nana's life. After losing her chance to stay with a wealthy relative due to an affair with the woman's husband, Nana ended up sharing a place with a jobless acquaintance she had met in Lugba. This friend, however, turned out to be unpleasant to live with, leading Nana to seek solace in the company of men at bars. It was during one of these nights that she encountered Clifford and his companions, initiating a transformation in her life. Under Clifford's influence, Nana spiraled into a life of alcohol, drugs, and petty theft. He taught her to exploit men for material gain. She also became Clifford's companion, sought after whenever he had issues with his wife or needed an escape from home. But lately, Clifford's behavior had taken a darker turn, becoming abusive and disrespectful. Nana grew tired of his treatment and the lack of a meaningful relationship in her own life. She had decided to sever ties with Clifford, and his unexpected visit after 2 months, particularly on a day of shocking news about him, left her baffled. The older man carelessly grumbled that he was hungry, paying no heed to her statement that the police were looking for him. He seized her wrist and drew her into the small kitchen of the 1-bedroom apartment, where space was limited. Once in the kitchen, he released his hold on her and began to search through the soot-coated pots. His actions were erratic, and Nana sensed that her safety might be at risk if she didn't tread carefully. She needed to handle the situation with caution. Trying to steady her nerves, she told him she had a pot of yam porridge on the stove. Ignoring the potential mess, Clifford retrieved the pot and carried it into the small sitting room, setting it on the seat. His hunger trumped concerns of soot stains. Nana observed him eating with an intensity that made her contemplate fleeing while he was occupied with his meal. But just as if he had read her thoughts, he looked up, smiling in a way that sent a shiver down her spine. Gaul's voice echoed in his mind, suggesting violent actions toward her. Clifford's gaze fixed on her, and she sensed an unsettling shift in his demeanor. She wondered what was behind that smile. She could sense that something had overcame him. During that night, Inspector Lucky and Rotimi struggled to find sleep in their respective homes, consumed by worry. Meanwhile, Chief Uzor sat alone in his living room, a mixture of concern and confusion clouding his thoughts. An eerie feeling of something amiss hung in the air. He felt an urgent need to meet the writer. Trusting the journalist to help locate this person, Chief Uzor planned to wire enough money for the journalist's flight, no matter where the writer was. If he truly was in Uyo, as Rotimi had mentioned, that would be a good start. It couldn't possibly be a prank, considering the magnitude of what the writer had unveiled. There was also the unsettling thought that his safety might be at risk. Was this writer a harbinger of doom? Could this sinister threat materialize and endanger their lives? His mind kept returning to the elusive Clifford, the source of much trouble. With his daughter's return imminent, Chief Uzor hoped fervently that they wouldn't face any life-threatening situations. He wished for safety for them all. The revelation that Edna was deceased and that Ekene was her son hit him hard. Strangely, he felt a strong connection to Ekene, although he couldn't pinpoint why. He felt a pressing need to meet the young boy. Finally, as sleep claimed him, Chief Uzor's dreams were haunted by memories of Edna, a former love of his life.